Oh, hey. What's up, everybody? Thanks for turning out to this later than usual evening, but I swear to God, and I'll level with everybody that's in here first and foremost. I've been running on about, 25% capacity for quite a long time at this point. Probably since the beginning of the year. Definitely since February, when all the Eliza Blue shit really kicked off, and I haven't really had an opportunity to kind of decompress and, well, given the smoke that was in the air, especially earlier this week, holy fuck, was that just completely and totally intolerable. That's why I had to cancel the midweek stream, mostly because my voice just couldn't hold up. Some of the old videos that I got, some of the ones that I put out at the time, and then the other ones that just are kind of processing in the background. It's got the, just kind of barely coherent, but it's still quality stuff at the end of the day, so fuck it. We're gonna end up ultimately, recovering and moving along. So even with this stream right here, which probably for the foreseeable future, when it comes to the politics stuff, and especially with all of the June shit that's gonna be going completely into fucking hyperdrive, most of the videos are probably going to be dedicated to that, and probably be playing catch up when it comes to politics for the stream specifically, even though that is kind of my bread and butter. What up, meme? What up, rookie? You guys are always just so great. All this, I just have in the background the YouTube shit pulled up, and I got a whole bunch of references that we need to go through. Not a lot of video stuff. Like, I know I got the headphones on and stuff, and the hillbillies that are outside, because of course, man, just drink some fucking Bud Light and crash into a light standard. All right, can you just fucking solve that problem? That'd be terrific. But no, like I'm saying, whenever there's an important political topic, I'll just do a stream on it, and then we can get it out the way that way. George, what's up, man? What's up, George? Yeah, I can't chat on Rumble, my phone. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, the shouldn't be in any threat, but even still, like, if there's gonna be anything, just anything that fucks up on the stream, like if you see it go black or whatever, I'm not fortunate enough to be in the golden circle on YouTube. So if you see the stream is down for whatever reason, like if Daily Wire all of a sudden starts to copyright their shit, which wouldn't make any sense. Like, I got a lot of problems with Daily Wire, but they also don't copyright their stuff, which is kind of nice, even though all of it's ultimately transformable. But the moment that it goes down on here, it's always going to be over on Rumble. But this one we shouldn't have any problems for, mostly because it's weird, right? I don't know, like, how many of you guys ended up watching the DeSantis, or listening to, because for whatever reason his fucking ham radio was broken, so he went and did his announcement on Twitter and needed to piggyback off of the popularity of Elon Musk. Like, I know it was a big thing, right? And I got my first article that we have up here, so we can just go that one right there. So yeah, Elon Musk, right? Because he kind of gave a tacit endorsement of Ron DeSantis way back in the cut. Now, for as many references as I have up here, I've got like a dozen different tabs to pull up as well. You guys can probably even see it there. Like, I got a few right now, but there's going to be some tangential thoughts of some stuff that I'm going to pull up as well on the fly, because, like I said, there's not a lot of video to watch. There's just a lot of thoughts that are going to be here that I'm going to try to substantiate as best as I can. And this one right here, yeah, with Elon Musk getting in bed with Ron DeSantis, and then couple that with Daily Wire bringing all of their stuff over to Twitter at the exact same time. Probably our worst fears have been confirmed, that Twitter isn't really going to become a free speech area as so much as it's going to be a tradcon, neo-cuck kind of cohabitation place. Like, it's kind of sad, because Daily Wire can't get traction at all whatsoever. Oh, it definitely can. I think it's still one of the most profitable properties over on Facebook, which, congratulations for them. Fantastic stuff, man. And then on YouTube, yeah, they're already in the algorithm. They're very, very, very safe, controlled opposition type programming. Let's keep it a buck. But they don't really have that much traction over on Rumble, which is kind of fucking hilarious. And if I can pull up the Rumble stream on this side, it's like, I know I'm I'm not too sure. I'm just pulling it up here on the phone. Yeah, like, we got better turnout with absolutely no fucking notifications over on YouTube, or over on Rumble, which is always a great thing. But Daily Wire can't do that, which is kind of weird. So them trying to take over Twitter and bring in all of their content over there as well, to try to work their way and weasel in with their brand of quote-unquote conservatism the exact same way they did with the Whatever podcast. The way that they're trying to get into red pill, grift off of the manosphere and all that stuff as well, try to backdoor their way in through it. You know why? Because they wanted to get their tendrils into everything, offer it before the election cycle, because as much as politics is my bread and butter, where I ended up cutting my teeth, Daily Wire, that's all they did. And we're going to see another round of corollaries there once we start to get into some of the players that we need to know. Elon Musk is funny. It's funny, and maybe we'll bring that one up as well. We'll see what ends up happening. Kind of thinking that maybe we should. I didn't think of that at the time. But Sebastian Gorka was on Patrick Bet-David podcast. Was that earlier this week? I think it was earlier this week. He was on there and he laid out the exact same reason why I don't fuck with Ron DeSantis anymore. During the press conference of the leak of the indictment, or at least the grand jury stuff regarding Donald Trump from Alvin Bragg in Manhattan as well. Ron DeSantis trying to grandstand and virtue signal that I don't know anything about hush money to a porn star. Sebastian Gorka went in on that sanctimonious fuck. Oh, it was beautiful to see. And he pointed out a couple of good points, but for the long and short of it, that's kind of the gist of it, what I got right there. And then, yeah, he really did point that out. And for as much as Gorka has just a really bad take when it comes to Alex Jones, for the rest of the stuff, he's pretty much fucking on point. So good for him. And as for the people that are behind Ron DeSantis, like, he's trying to get Elon Musk in there. And that's why I brought up Gorka, right? Because Gorka said he's not too sure if he believes in the conservative bona fides of Elon Musk, in so much as that he's a billionaire. He's a genius, of course, but he also has this brand new toy that is Twitter. That, yeah, it was very novel at the time that, I can control the public discourse that's out there, because once you have as much money as Elon Musk has, like what, 300 and some odd $1 billion, it's like, how much more money can you really accumulate? And even if, you continue to, conquer space, you can, build more electric cars. You can conquer that market. What's the next thing on top of that? And every rich person will tell you there comes a point in time when you realize that it's just another zero in your bank account. Okay, wonderful, fantastic. You want power outside of that. So what's more alluring than trying to bring back free speech to the discussion? Well, that's what Elon Musk had. And yeah, he's been fucking around with it for a little better than a year at this point in time, since it was all announced that he was going to be buying Twitter. And then he didn't want to buy Twitter. And then he was forced to buy Twitter. And now he's adopting it to fit whatever he wants to do and to be the basis for his X platform, which is kind of scary in the grand scope of things, but it's kind of what he wants to do. And if he can get away with it and he can ultimately make it work, will the world be a better place for it? Time will only tell. But yeah, Elon Musk, it's interesting because he also says that he has this open door policy. Any presidential candidate that wants to come over, have a space with him on Twitter, they can come through. And the whole idea behind it that Ron DeSantis broke the internet. Oh my God, there was such high level of enthusiasm that was down there, which is somewhat true. I was anticipating when I went to, because I was going to listen to it live, but I couldn't get into it, mostly because I think it was Tim Poole who ended up tweeting out 460,000 people were in the initial round. And it's like, that's a lot of people. They categorize it as excitement. I'm just like, okay, cool. You're on Twitter, you press a button, you can listen along to Ron DeSantis read a script. I don't have the initial announcement pulled up. We can listen to some of it if you want, but it's realistically just Ron DeSantis reading names out of a phone book. It's not all that interesting, and a lot of people came away from listening to the recording of the announcement because nobody could get into it. So yeah, and then from some of the leaked recordings, it really did seem like it was Ron DeSantis's people that kind of fucked up everything, as opposed to a server crash. Because if you cast your mind back to, and we watched the video of it, Elon Musk, hillbillies in this fucking neighborhood revving their shitty cocksucking engines. Anyways, no, Elon Musk with the BBC reporter that was down there, he held a space at the time with that, and there was 3.3 million people in a space. No problem with that at that point in time. So is it Ron DeSantis with a consistent 250,000 people that are down there? Did he get the boost from Elon Musk, or is Ron DeSantis just that big of a fucking drag to people, to somebody who actually transcends politics? Because you rank and file individual outside of Florida, how many people actually know Ron DeSantis? Like us political nerds, we know Ron DeSantis. I like him. He's a good governor. Is he a good presidential candidate? He's a good governor. He has the charisma of a fucking doormat, but he's a good governor. Now, to see the people that he surrounded himself with, I'm glad this is happening right now. I'm glad this is happening, but maybe we'll get into that at the time, because they still have this article that's up here, and I got a lot of thoughts. About this stuff. So Elon Musk crows over DeSantis' $8.4 million presidential fundraising record after disastrous Twitter launch. He was trying to couple that by saying that, Ron DeSantis launched his his presidential campaign, even though everybody knew, are you going to do it? Well, no, not this week, but pay attention. Oh, it's coming next. Oh, no, next week. Okay, I'm going to release a book. Okay, the week after that. Month after that. Okay, in June. No, in May. Okay, now I'm going to go do it in a Twitter space because Elon Musk got some free time. If you're just this popular, this beacon of conservatism, you're going to lead the movement into the future, why did you need one of the most famous people on earth to launch it with? That just doesn't make sense to me. It's almost like there's a bunch of consultants that are out there that need to collect a paycheck because this is going to be the biggest payday, and it's such a perfect event for them because it's all of those old Bushites, okay, like your Karl Roves, even the Bush family proper, and what they're doing to Ken Paxton, the Attorney General in Texas, is a fucking travesty right now. But smarter minds are opining on that, and I'm only seeing a little bit of it. Like, I don't know what the root cause of it is. Is it rhinos run amok? Is it the Bush family? Because you remember, Ken Paxton just won his re-election during the midterm cycle, and who is the number one competitor against him? One of the young members. What the fuck's his name? Whatever the W stands for in H.W. Bush. That kid. He is, I think, the he's on that Bush family. It's like the fucking Clintons. They're everywhere. The Clintons, the Kennedys, the Bushes. It's all these political dynasties, which is hilarious when you see. I think it was Pushaw, who we're going to be talking about here in a bit, but she's trying to say, Ron DeSantis shouldn't enter the race. What is this, a political dynasty? Bitch, you're getting fucking funded by those cocksuckers that are out there. The Bush family. Christ almighty. Their tendrils in this establishment fucking government go all the way back to the 1800s with the formation of the FBI, the CIA, all of the deep state that's down there. Those Bushes are in fucking everything, and they're trying to cling to power because that old guard finally is fucking dying off. So for you to say, what is this, some sort of monarchy where everybody just has to wait their turn for King Trump? No, it's because the establishment struck back. All of those consultants that could just try to leech themselves on, in 2016? Ted Cruz was the establishment pick. This time around, Ron DeSantis, super popular among the Republican base on a national stage. Fucking crickets. What do we got? Because I know I got one poll that's pulled up here. If we can go ahead. Presidential election poll. This one's brand spanking new, just after the announcement as well. So this one was taken between May 22nd and May 25th, surveying a whole bunch of people across the political spectrum as well. Trump up over Biden by 1 point in a presidential election poll from Echelon. Echelon surveyed 1,035 people. Your standard sample size. Biden over 4 points. 4 points over Ron DeSantis. Like, come on, man. He's not that fucking popular, for Christ's sakes. He's popular among Republicans. He's not popular to the general public. And we already know the type of garbage that they're trying to dig up on him and what they're going to be using, okay? They're going to say, how could he possibly beat Biden if he couldn't even beat a mouse? Yeah, trying to run that Disney narrative. That's going to be step one. There has never been a Republican, not as long as I can cast my mind back, that hasn't been besmirched by the media. And you think all of a sudden Ron DeSantis, he's just like Trump with the Trump policies, was not any of the baggage. You're out of your fucking skull. Been on this headline long enough. Let's continue. So Elon Musk suffered another embarrassing blunder in the wake of Ron DeSantis' disastrous Twitter Spaces campaign launch. the substance of it was disastrous. I'll give him a pass on that. And it's like, if you could actually draw numbers, why wouldn't you go on a network? Because right after the Twitter Spaces, he went on Trey Gowdy's. What is this? 2008. I remember watching Trey Gowdy dunks on liberals. Like, the fuck, I didn't even know he had a show, but it makes sense for Fox News. Haven't seen any numbers on that, but you remember when Trump had that town hall on CNN where he, at 16-folded their normal viewership base? Like, somebody's popular, somebody's not, okay? He literally is the great value version of Trump. Anyways, as his attempt to boast about the Florida governor's fundraising record was quickly corrected by his own platform. Yeah, I don't know why he was bragging about that, other than, hey, look at how popular and look at how, look at the type of momentum you can gain by interacting people on Twitter. I've got the best platform that's out there, which I'm not going to doubt. It's just, you got to cross your T's and dot your I's if you're going to be so braggadocious about this. But why isn't this noise setting an all-time record for fundraising? Musk tweeted, citing 24 hopefuls' $8.2 million haul in the first 24 hours of his candidacy. $8.2 million. Where did that all come from? I'm just wondering. The tweet, which was viewed more than 21 million times, was quickly corrected by the community note, which pointed out the actual record being set by who exact? Oh, right, the guy who hasn't come back to your platform yet, Donald J. Trump, at $25 million the day after he announced his failed re-election bid in 2019. You say failed, I say, all right, we're simulcasting on YouTube. Anyways, but yeah, no, here's the tweet. A lot of noise, people, a lot of noise about DeSantis announcing and discussing his presidential bid on the platform. But you wait, but you what? Isn't noise, but Elon. Fucking grammar check your shit. Setting an all-time record for fundraising. Worth considering the announcement in general. Okay, cool. And then, yeah, it was fact-checked. This tweet is factually incorrect. Ooh, that seems pretty scathing. Trump raised $25 million. Removing large donors, it's still $14 million. So his smaller contributions are even greater than all of what DeSantis raised. But yeah, good stuff. Can we account for inflation as well? I'm just wondering, man. Furthermore, half of Governor DeSantis's donations came via a donor event that started in advance of the space. More than half. Okay, so what, $4 million was raised in 24 hours, which, don't get me wrong, it's a good gig, and you can see why people wanted DeSantis to run. It's just, President Biden, piss be upon him, raised $6.3 million, topping DeSantis's online donations. Yeah, it's a tough business, but at the end of the day, okay, it's interesting. It's interesting, right? So, yeah. And we took a look at what the poll numbers that were up there. We already seen that as well. But as somebody else points out, and there's quite the schism that's going on when it comes to Twitter right now. Quite the fucking schism, to say the least. But Johnny Maga, Cat Turd, Robert Barnes, 1,000% for sure, and a couple of other names that are on one side of the divide, as opposed to the ones that we're going to be getting into very, very shortly. And I think that we're probably going to have to start with Christina Pushaw, who you need to know that name, because she is definitely going to be one of the most subversive people over the next however long Ron's flagging campaign. I swear to God, he is going to get so horrifyingly exposed in August during the first round of primary debates. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be fucking atrocious, because Vivek Ramaswamy, that's not at all correct. Ramaswamy, he's going to get up there on that debate stage and absolutely dog walk Ron. You can fucking set your calendars to that. Well, we're going to be simulcasting that 1,000%, because I'm going to be interested in all of this shit going down the entire time. So, yeah, you can mark me down for that one. But Vivek knows his shit. Okay, he doesn't really have any holes in his game. He's just a tech guy who's just come in, financed his campaign. That's fantastic. And the way that the DeSantis camp is attacking Trump for, you didn't fire Fauci. He can't fire Fauci. You put him in charge of everything. Mike Pence was in charge of the COVID response. And Trump was one of the first people to publicly criticize Fauci, which led to the backlash on Fauci to begin with. And Ron DeSantis entrenched his own version of Fauci. I know that they have a surgeon general. He's the black guy that's down there who's Omega based, which good on him, put him in place on that one. But his version of Fauci, which I fucking forget the guy's name, Robert Barnes has everything cataloged on that one, so we might be able to pull it up. DeSantis, like his red flag laws, oh yeah, that's definitely going to get exposed. If the DeSantis folks' next line of attack is to go after Trump for banning bump stocks, red flag laws. Red flag laws. Ron DeSantis signed those, fucking helped sculpt the bill. Yeah, he's going to get attacked super hard on the Second Amendment, and there's no obfuscating from that point. So to try to misremember and rewrite history for 2020 about how, oh, Trump wasn't hard enough on Fauci, and Ron DeSantis definitely would have. Who's the guy who's getting pictured wearing his mask, getting boosted? The guy who actually signed legislation to lock down his state for a month, as opposed to Trump, who just said, yeah, let's just chill, didn't sign anything, left it all to the states. And then what happened there? Oh, there was a whole bunch of governors that hopped on top of that. There were some other Republican states that didn't lock down at all. Ron DeSantis wasn't one of those governors now, was it? But it's so fucking funny that they're running with that narrative when they know they're wrong. They're lying, they're wrong, they're using clips out of context, all in service of, like Johnny Mega has right here, Ron DeSantis has filed to run for 4 different offices in 7 years. He is the embodiment of a self-serving career politician. I think I made at least allusions to this a little bit earlier. I'm glad this is happening right now instead of in 2028, just to see the people that DeSantis has surrounded himself with, just to see the actual character behind the guy. Because, yeah, no, you've heard me multiple times. I like Ron DeSantis. He was a great governor. And, yeah, if it would have been him in 2024, and that's ultimately what I'm thinking as well. Yeah, fuck it. I'll address this to begin with. The only reason that Ron DeSantis is getting all of these Bushites, firmly entrenched individuals to come into his campaign is because I don't know if they're getting information that Trump's going to be indicted, but every time that one of those indictments drop for Trump, like, he goes up in the polls. Like, do they think, okay, cool, if Georgia comes through and that they just end up slapping charges on him that are just absolutely ridiculous about a publicly available phone call, which you can go and watch, or listen to, because you can't watch a phone call, and it'd be very tough. It's kind of like DeSantis's announcement where, ooh, you can just watch a bunch of Twitter profiles. This is so exciting. I can't wait to vote for this guy. Anyways, no. Yeah, so Georgia come through. I think, oh, fuck, what did I see for a trial date? I think it's January for the Manhattan case. And then for the federal case, any day now, which I think we're starting to hear some movement on that one. And even though all those charges come down, even if the trials go through and Trump ends up getting found guilty on any of those charges that are out there, that doesn't prevent him from running. All that does is just makes for a wonderful campaign point, and that the justice system has been weaponized against him. So that's where his advisors come in, DeSantis's advisors, by saying, oh, he's going to become politically poisonous. Oh, he's going to be going nuclear off of this. And it's like, you had all of this time in between, like the past year when the DOJ has been going hard on Trump, to realize that, oh no, every time that they do that, it's actually making him cooler and more relevant in the polls. Like, I don't know what they're thinking, man. I really don't know what they're thinking. But yeah, so the announcement was totally fucking bunk. Okay, it made Trump go up in the polls once again, but probably the funniest thing that I've seen come out of this was Trump's own announcement. He tweeted this out, by the way, on his own Truth page. I haven't been able to go over there and see what Trump's been saying about all this stuff, but a lot of memes. A lot of memes on how bad this stuff is, and what you're going to be seeing going forward, outside of probably Ron DeSantis not saying anything and all of his attack dogs just doing all the work for him. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because I got to pull this up as well, because I think that it's not that I'm ashamed. I just want to have the shock on this one. Let's just see, because I know I tweeted something about it. If you've been following me along on Twitter, you're going to notice a bunch of other shit as well. I've been chiming in on this quite a bit. See if we can get this one. Actually, yeah, I want this one as well. Yeah, just calling out some trad cucks because of course that shit's funny. Let's see, the fuck is this? It really doesn't much matter. Oh yeah, the endorsement from Tommy Lahren, that tells you another thing. Christ almighty, we could watch that as well, but yeah, it stands to reason. The fuck was I looking? Maybe I just... as president. No, okay, it would have been after that as well. See, this is what happens because I think of these things on the time. It's the Fox News post. Okay, maybe I did just reply to it as well and go Fox. Now penis. Twitter, you got such a fucking good search engine. Makes me sick to my stomach. We got that one as well. Get that one. Just talk amongst yourselves. See, I need to be able to take a look at the chat here, see what you guys are on about as well. That was just funny. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. Yeah, okay. So this was the day after. The day after. And yo, peak that fucking viewership counter. Now, there's no way that you can actually verify this stuff because the way that YouTube and all the streamers, even on Rumble as well, like you can't see active live viewer counts after the fact, so it's tough to say. It's really tough to say, but somebody who is crowing about getting, oh, we broke the internet, you go over and you do an announcement the day after, and you can only pull 419 people to watch on Fox News's main channel. Yeah, that's tough shit, my guy. Incredibly tough shit. First addressed after presidential announcement, 419 people watching. Trump can go outside and give a fucking fast food order and have tens of thousands of people tune in. That's Joe Biden numbers. Literally. You can go in and listen to press conferences on the fucking regular. They're pulling those numbers. This is the shining beacon of conservatism that is going to right the ship. Okay, but I'm gonna listen to this meme here real quick. But first, I gotta check the chats because I've been neglecting you guys for like a half an hour, and I don't like that. I don't like it at all. But yeah, shout out to everybody who turned out for this one. I really do appreciate it. Let's just see what we got over here. We got a good turnout on the YouTubes. I don't know why that's fucking paused. It's just so weird. But anyways, yo, meme and George, yo. Scar DeSantis. Oh yeah, planning a stampede. Mufasa Trump. Yeah. Yeah, it really does seem like that, Jormongu. Yeah, for sure. Shout out. Haven't seen you in here before. Thanks for stumbling by. Louders Cruz. Yes, Lourdes Cruz. Yeah, we can see you in the chat right here. Everything's all good, for sure. So, yeah. No, thanks, guys, for coming through. Yeah, Make America Sleep. Brian, he's not an enthusiastic guy. But, yeah, we do have one video outside of this meme that I want to watch because this shit is so fucking funny. And the fact that Trump actually tweeted this shit out, oh, my God. It's like, that's why that guy's my president right there. I'm trying to get a MAGA hat, I swear to God, one of these days. One of these days because, yeah, we need just additional little get up when we... and turn that on as well. When we stream this politics stuff. And probably need a new banner as well. I got a lot of shit to do, okay? Got a lot of shit. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but Trump, right after the Twitter Spaces announcement, just decided to tweet out this fucking gem. Oh, it's so good.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Ron DeSantis Twitter Space.
Hello? Is my microphone working correctly?
George.
So you got Elon Musk. Okay, for those of you who are just listening. Elon Musk, Ron DeSantis, George Soros, Klaus Schwab, Dick Cheney, which... that's the inclusion that fucking kills me. Adolf Hitler, the devil, and the FBI listening to Ron DeSantis' announcement on Twitter Spaces, which was titled, Set to Launch. Fucking Christ.
Can you just wait while we...
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can all hear you, George. Can you just hold on for a second?
Hilfa, I don't think they can hear me.
I can hear you fine, George. Just speak to the
I don't think George knows how to use Twitter.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Can I please make my big announcement now? Everyone just...
Hello?
Just shut up, George.
Can somebody just mute George?
Dick Cheney.
Dick, could you try not to cough on the...
Okay, so how are...
Yo, this shit just reminds me of... I don't know if that meme's died off, but I haven't seen the videos in a while. The AI presidents, it's normally Obama, Trump, and Biden playing video games. That shit is hilarious. Oh, my God. We might have to do that on the Rumble stream tomorrow. I got an idea for Rumble stream. But that could be fun because that shit's so funny.
Or are we
Anyways.
going to take out Trump, you guys?
Guys from the FBI, this is not a private call. This is a public Twitter space. Everyone can listen in.
God damn it.
Anyway, guys, we invited everyone to this this Twitter space so Governor Ron DeSantis could...
Yo, the AI is really... It's good. It's creepy good.
Everyone just shut the hell up so I can make my announcement, okay?
Language, Ron.
You go, girl.
Wait, the devil is gay?
So what? Everyone in this call is gay. I happen to know every single one of you has a secret gay lover.
He fucking tweeted this out.
Führer, ich kann nicht zulassen, dass die Soldaten, die für Sie
Guys, can we please just calm down?
So anyway, guys, I just wanted to announce that I'm...
Okay, I can hear the governor very well.
Shut up.
Would you please shut up already? I'm running for fucking president, okay?
Language.
Yeah, we kind of already
We
knew about
already
it.
know, governor.
Congratulations, Governor.
Well, that concludes our Twitter space for today.
cool.
Thank you to all of our...
Hold your horses, Elon. The real president is going to say a few words. The devil, I'm going to kick your ass very soon. Hitler, you're already dead. Dick Cheney, sounds like you'll be joining Hitler very soon. Klaus Schwab and George Soros, I'm putting both your asses in jail. And Ron DeSanctimonious can kiss my big, beautiful 2024 presidential ass. Trump 2024, baby. Let's go.
Oh my god. Yo, and I think the rest of that's well, it's obviously copyrighted music, but that shit's so fucking funny. Oh my god. That's why it's Trump, baby. That's why it's Trump all the fucking way. Mostly because, yeah, with that one truth, whatever the fuck they call them over there, the one meme, okay? Because it probably comes from the impersonation account that's out there as well. This shit's gold. It's absolute fucking gold, and that's why, well, that's kind of why the attack dogs need to come out. What do we got here? Oh, right, yeah, because I've made mention of this one before, I know for sure, okay. Now, I understand it's a little bit older and all that stuff, but video emerges of Ron DeSantis telling young reporter the most inspirational person that he's ever met is Bush 41, so that's Bush Sr. Yeah, the most inspirational person that he's ever met before, and you can tell this is a little older, okay, because, well, he hadn't quite met Trump yet at any point in time, so he hadn't been able to ape his mannerisms, and it's not like he's intelligent enough on his own to really perfect his own way of delivering things. So just watch how wooden and awful he is. But he pushed papers during the Iraq War, guys. He's a veteran.
Well, who's like the most inspirational person you've met and why?
Inspirational person that I've met?
It's just mono.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm trying to think who in kind of modern times.
Looks
I mean,
like
part of the thing when, when
oh, there we go. He developed some charisma. It kind of looks like he didn't know what to do with his hands. The only time that you normally see somebody with their hands just completely at their sides right there is an abused child.
You're growing up when you're a blue-collar kid. I don't really get to meet a lot of people. And then even in Congress now, I've only been there for 4 months. I mean, I guess I probably would say Bush 41.
Well, who's like the most inspirational person?
Now, I understand, maybe that's taken out of context or something like that, but for him to say the most inspirational person that he's met, that's that's kind of interesting now, isn't it? Well, hey man, is what it is, but it's so weird. It's so, because he's just not popular. He's not popular at all whatsoever. He's, like I said, great governor. On a national stage, though, he does not get that smoke at all. And he looks good when he's going up against a couple of, B-tier reporters. But when the A-team runs through, what's going to end up happening? He's probably going to fold like the cheap suits that he wears. Well, okay, so this Nick Floricat, Professor F, okay, he sent out a couple of tweets that are right there, obviously. And you can tell they're all sent within close proximity of one another. It's interesting. Okay, well, what do we have here? 2 tweets, seconds apart. Okay. One pro-Trump, the other pro-DeSantis. Yet the pro-DeSantis tweet has almost 10 times the views. Yeah, you can tell right there, 2,100 to 276. Sent at about the same time. Even the Trump tweet went out first. Interesting. Okay. Yes, I certainly believe this time won't be election interference. Thanks, Elon Musk. Yeah, because they're even worded. You can probably, the word count is fairly close to one another. It looks like the character within, close proximity to one another. So yeah, the DeSantis tweet Oh, excuse me. That would have been gross. I'm supporting Ron DeSantis in the 2024 election. He is the candidate Republicans need. That one right there, very vanilla endorsement, kind of like his campaign. 2,100 views, a little bit of interaction, 28 comments, 18 likes, 1 retweet. That's totally fine. I'm supporting Trump in 2024. Let's make America great again and destroy the woke mind virus. Has a couple of catchy buzz terms that are in there. Okay, it's got make America great again. Woke, okay, mind virus. All right, Trump 2024. Okay. 1 comment, 3 likes, 267 views. Interesting circulation. That's right there. And then this tweet in general, comparing the two, 128,000 views. Like, the fuck is going on here? Yeah, so Shelby Varney. Okay, I noticed this too. And the flood of DeSantis shills on my account last week is unreal. It's mostly because, you know, I've been going back and forth with at least some of them and responding to some other accounts that I think are doing good jobs as well. So maybe that fucks up the algorithm a little bit. But before I really started to go hard on that stuff, there was a lot of pro DeSantis stuff. Kind of fucking weird, okay? But a lot of the power players, it's not Ron who's doing any of the attacks. Oh, he's out there on the stump, of course. He's got to go make all of those hot cities. He's got to make all of those interviews for a rousing audience of 400 people. But no, it's totally fine. Maybe it's like that old glitch from back in the day where if a video was super popular on YouTube, it was stuck at 316 views. Maybe it's something like that. It's totally believable, something like that. But now we have, okay, both of them are kind of intertwined here, okay? The 2 attack dogs for Ron DeSantis who are doing the most right now. And it's kind of weird how much Ron is making. I'm seeing some reports on that as well. And where the fuck? God damn it. Anyways, but no, seeing reports that he's going to be trying to use his wife a little bit more in order to try to appeal. And basically he's using identity politics from the right. But it's fine because my wife's hot and she's a survivor of cancer. So using all of those identity politics points in order to reach out to women. Interesting. So keep that in mind as well. The focus on women. Because that's what I'm seeing right here, 100%. And this was the big thing that happened. I think it happened last night or some shit like that. So, Jenna Ellis, who was one of the, not lawyers. Yeah, fuck it, just lawyers. Okay, lawyers for the Trump team that ended up doing not all that much after, you know, the election, during those pivotal few weeks after the election, before inauguration, where they were supposed to be doing something, but just ended up, you know, using that stick that they're going to use, that Jenna's going to use in the meme right here, to just try to dribble their resume out and then just try to get hired on somewhere else. Didn't end up ultimately doing all that much. So now she's out there and she's a full-on DeSantis shill, which red flag for me, but okay, cool. She's very experienced when it comes to a litigious situation, so it could be a boon that's over there. But then she's going to start doing some sisterhood Uber Alla shit, and it's like, okay, I know exactly what time this is. So this is all in reference, okay? Tweets vulgarity at women. Oh no, what did he call one? An appropriate term? At women while working for a Christian publication. Gets fired. Why would cancel culture do this? Well, what are we talking about right here? So this is Gavin Mario Wax. And what was he doing as well? Ended up making him the ire of this meme. Let's see if I can get my reference point right here. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's right here. So Seth Dillon, he owns and operates the Babylon Bee. This is from somebody who used to work at the Babylon Bee. So breaking this down right here. Okay, so he tweets this out. I'm not even entirely sure what this is in reference to, other than Christina Pushaw, who we're going to detail in a little bit more detail. There we go. Here in a minute, but this all kind of works together, okay? So, hey, Christina Pushaw, what's your fucking problem? That's all that he tweets out. What's your fucking problem? And then Seth Dillon, White Knights, comes in and says, what's yours? Tweeting like this, with the B in your bio doesn't work for me. Okay, yeah, this doesn't work for me. Being accused of things that are false and criminal doesn't work for me. Oh, interesting. Okay, you can take the B out of your bio right now. So, okay, cool. Because he said fucking to a woman, and because the DeSantis campaign is specifically targeting women who don't like Republicans en masse, the single proportion voted 68% in favor of Democrats during the midterms. Now, all of a sudden, Now all of a sudden, we can see the campaign strategy of the DeSantis constituents. Oh, we know what time it is. Now it's just going to be bending over for women. Yeah, I don't like that. That's why I'm so happy that all of this stuff is coming out right now, which Trump's going to be the nominee at the end of the day. This is just all kind of weeding out all of the bad faith actors, which I'm so glad this is happening right now. Not when Ron's the front runner and then realize, oh no, he's a simp. Oh no, we're fucked. I'm glad this is happening right now, 100%. So he comes back. Okay, so the Babylon Bee just used Twitter to fire their VP of marketing. The fuck? Okay, apparently you have to support DeSantis to work for him. Sure as fuck looks that way. I don't care who most of my employees vote for. I don't care. Okay. Oh, I don't know who most of my employees vote for, and I don't care. Come on. I do care how they conduct themselves in public with our name in their bio. His conduct was reprehensible. I've seen, Gavin brought up a couple of examples right here. Somebody who I absolutely fucking despise, Ashley St. Clair. Okay, yeah, he brings this up. Okay, well, actually, Top Secret does some digging on this one. Fuck every Republican who just voted to fund red flag laws. Oh, that would be Ron DeSantis. Fucking hilarious. I'm done ranting. Fuck sexual predator Joe Biden and his sexual predator son. Fuck government restrictions. Celebrate freedom. But you notice something that's down there. Outside of the nebulous term what Republican is. No women are affected in that one. So that one's totally fine. That's totally fine. And she's a woman herself. She can get away with that. You know, the intersectionality rules or whatever the Republicans that now have come around to this, because this is the exact same shit, right? Okay. So yeah. Oh no, Republicans staunchly against the same-sex marriage, and then given enough time, we're actually the ones who support it harder than the Democrats, the ones who don't do it right. See what's happening? See what's happening right here? You need to accept this feminist programming. No. Fuck off, Trump 2024. I have no problem with my former colleagues using occasional vulgarity when to express themselves. It's normal. We are human. Fucking based. I think it's wrong. I'm being treated by a different set of standards and being publicly attacked by my former employer. No, that's 1000% true. Did we get this one? Okay, I don't care who they are. His conduct was reprehensible. And then that circles back around to, yeah, Jenna Ellis just being a righteous cunt. I'll say it. Yeah. Tweets vulgarity towards women by asking Christina Pushaw, what the fuck are you doing, you crazy bitch? Mostly because, well, the bitch is crazy. Let's call it the way that we see it. So, Amuse right here, a good guy who does a lot of good investigative journalism and catalogs it a lot. I highly recommend, paying attention to what he does. So, who is Christina Pushaw? I think she was the communications director, right? Like, we can pull this up if she's updated her bio or some shit like this. Yeah, Team Ron DeSantis, rapid response. Yeah, so she's been, well, we know that she's paying attention to a lot of things, mostly because she can see quite a few things. She's been all over Twitter lately. She's mostly been fighting with Robert Barnes, which I would not want to bark up that tree because I don't know if Robert sleeps. I don't know if he takes time away to eat, but that dude is everywhere at all times. And if you're trying to fuck with him, you better come correct. And guess what, bitch? It's not your fucking strong suit. Maybe take some time away from Twitter and go buy some eyeliner so it just doesn't look like that your eyelids, come in horizontally. You may have heard about a bunch of controversy surrounding Christina Pushaw. She's rapid response director for the 2024 presidential campaign of Ron DeSantis. This thread will help you to get to know a little bit more about Pushaw. Well, I'm very interested. Who is Christina Pushaw? Christina was raised in Malibu, California. That's immediately when I started to disqualify her. Why the fuck are we listening to politics from a fucking Valley girl? Get fucked. Okay, her father is Robert J. Pushaw. The James Wilson Endowed Professor, how endowed is he, of law at the Pepperdine University School of Law. Okay, so very well connected. Okay, who is Christina? During college, she worked for John McCain's presidential campaign. A boy! And afterwards, studied abroad in Moscow. She worked researching Ukrainian constitutional reforms. She spent time in Kiev, Ukraine, to complete her graduate thesis. From 2018 to 2020, she worked in Georgia, country, not the state, as a registered foreign agent for former Georgia President Mikhail Saakashvili. All right. Shouldn't that kind of disqualify her from a couple of things if she was working as a foreign agent? But whatever. She was hired as DeSantis' press secretary. Yeah, that's where I seen the name before, but why does she always have that look on her face? It's fucking creepy. She doesn't look too dissimilar to like a background character from like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That shit's creepy. She left to serve as rapid response director for his 2022 gubernatorial re-election and his 2024 presidential campaigns. It's interesting. I don't know if he highlights this as well, but they call it Pepperdine University. Yeah, big farming ground for the CIA. CIA. I know a lot of people it's like, oh my God, deep state and all that shit. Don't know for sure, but her actions are very, very interesting. She also has been credited for popularizing the word groomer in conservative politics and for strengthening DeSantis' reputation among conservatives and anti-LGBT internet personalities. Oh, great. So she does good work like that. When was the last time that we heard a woman falsely try to claim that, oh yeah, I popularized something? That's what's her name? Liz Orange? No. Liz Green? No. Eliza Blue. Oh, right. And she's blonde. Well, naturally speaking, don't know so much about the look on her face or even her lips or anything like that. But her going back and forth with Barnes has been, yo, man, that's definitely been something. I need to check what the fuck this is. Oh, okay. Oh, right, yeah, just to wrap up the Babylon Bee shit. Okay, so if you're afraid you might get fired for speaking your mind about Christina Pushaw, no, that doesn't apply right here. The solution is to speak your mind anyway. If no one is willing to take that risk, nothing is going to change. Yeah, yes, I realize, but I said easier said than done. Courage is always more difficult than cowardice. That goes without saying. Yeah, no, exactly. Unless, of course, you're working for the campaign that's flagging and you need to hashtag believe all women. Fantastic. But yeah, Barnes going absolutely fucking mental on this cunt right here. It's so great to see. I need to go down to this fucking crazy dude. But yeah, maybe because he does tweet some spicy things, you can take a look at me in this increasingly warm room. Okay, so what do we got right here? Fireside chat. Casey DeSantis told face. Oh yeah, no. See, I didn't make this up. We can actually read this one. So at a fireside chat event in 2022, Casey DeSantis, that's Ron DeSantis' wife, in case you don't know, was told to her face by a suburban mother of her child with special needs that a public library in Florida had denied entry to a special needs child over a mask mandate and a medical exemption wasn't honored in 2022, and she did nothing about it. Oh, no, not the lady who's going to be reaching out. No. DeSantis and his team ghosted the suburban mother in all forms of communication. So this also kind of ties in. Ron DeSantis was the best governor when it comes to COVID restrictions. Yeah, you had a retarded kid who was denied entry into a public arena because he couldn't wear a mask. Fantastic stuff. Goes to the mother in all forms of communication. Text, email, official requests to remedy this from happening. Similar also happened in another country with another mother whose story was aired on Tucker Carlson. Don't underestimate mama bears. Yeah, interesting as well. And that's who they're trying to capitulate to at this point in time. Dylan is being destroyed in a Twitter space. Yeah, there was apparently a Twitter space that was going on or some shit like that, but I just need to make sure that, there's a bunch of, lockdowns revisited. Yeah, no, that's very interesting. This one might be a little bit sketchy, but we can run through. Yeah, because, Kristi Noem didn't lock down South Dakota. Now, is South Dakota a fair comparison to Florida? Not entirely sure about that. It's a little touch and go, but the DeSantis camp is engaged in propaganda campaign to smear Trump for COVID lockdowns. Might as well cover this at this point in time, and then we can go on to the interview. This revisionist history conveniently shifts blame away from the governors, mayors, and actually issued and enforced COVID lockdowns and restrictions on residents. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And then, where's the rest of your stuff? The fuck? There it is. It is well settled that quarantine powers to restrict in-state activities rest solely with state and local authorities. Yeah, only Democrats and disingenuous, I'm just going to say a fun word that starts with an F and has double consonants, disingenuous rhino in order to conflate the two, because the federal government, the president, we understand that you want power, Ron, but they don't have absolute power like you would hope that they would. Trump never issued a national lockdown or reopen order because he never had the power to do so as president. He simply could advise, and he could simply recommend. I seem to recall, 50 days, 50 day, folks, and we want everything open once again by the glorious day of Easter. Easter is known for its resurrection. It's like this beautiful country, folks. Like this beautiful country will come back up. It'll just go away. It'll just disappear if we just go back to work. Come on, just go back to work. To say otherwise is an outright lie. Yeah, of course, President Trump can't reopen the country. We can only do that by the Washington Post, and Trump resists national shutdown, leaving it up to the states. This is the exact same shit. This is the exact same revisionist history, now that I'm just thinking about it. The likes of Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the Democrats were trying to run Trump's racist by enacting the travel ban. We wouldn't have done something like that. We would have done it sooner. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi's down there partying in Chinatown saying, come and hug a local Chinese guy. There's nothing wrong with that. You just be a racist, alarmist, just anything. Fucking bitch. They do have good sake. Different country. Same thing. I don't know what Chinese drink for fun. Blood of their aborted daughters. In mid-March, California instituted the first COVID lockdowns on residents in the United States. Funny, I seem to remember it was... I'm not doubting that, but just the first one that I was made aware of was in Pennsylvania. So, okay. By April 2020... 42 states and countless local governments followed California's lead and instituted COVID lockdowns restricting on 316, oh, hell yeah. Well, actually, in this case, no. Americans living within their jurisdictions. Yes, of course. So, on 23, 9 statewide orders all the way down the Pacific Northwest. Okay. Some local restrictions, in parts of the state. And then by, the end of the month, it was just about every state except for North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa. Is that Arkansas? I think it's Arkansas. Could be wrong on that one. And then Oklahoma, shout out rookie, and Utah as well. So those were the states. Those were the only states that just ended up being totally fine at the end of the day. Florida, when did Florida hop on the bandwagon? Local orders all the way until the beginning of the month. That's when Ron ended up signing his thing. Still, many state and local authorities wisely chose not to issue enforced COVID lockdowns restrictions, unlike DeSantis in Florida. The governors of Arkansas, Iowa. I was right. I said I'm a Canadian and I know that fucking geography. Iowa, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming never issued state orders restricting non-essential activities. What are those? All of those Republican. Oh, okay, cool. Even though, at the time, Arkansas was run by Asa Hutchinson, who's running for president. If you thought DeSantis' campaign was flagging. Oof. Anyways. In March of 2020, DeSantis fed into early COVID hysteria by pushing for federal quarantines and domestic interstate travel bans. This countered Trump's message pushing states to reopen. Of course. I remember. A lot of people remember. Not the DeSantis camp, which is so fucking weird where the opening salvo is all about Trump. Trump should fire Fauci. Why did he fire Fauci? Shut up. Trump ultimately ignored DeSantis' request. Interesting. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the White House should consider restricting domestic travel from states, and Trump went, no, shut up. Didn't institute such federal COVID quarantines and bans. No, of course not. Trump. I don't know what the fucking Trump bucks trending is. As governor, DeSantis issued orders essentially closing Florida and restricting its residents' right to travel freely and conduct business. Trump did not force Florida to close in April of 2020, nor did Trump force DeSantis to reinstitute some COVID restrictions in June of 2020. Oh, what? Oh, no. DeSantis handled it better, guys. Come on. Attacks blaming Trump for COVID lockdowns are bad faith lies. Because they're easily disproven, but they continue to push forward. Fucking weird. Trump never locked down the United States because he never had the power to do so. Trump constantly pushed for states and cities to reopen under constant attacks. Blame rests with governors and mayors that engaged in COVID tyranny. 1000%. In conclusion, I think I see like this picture right here. You might see this one circulating if you missed the context on this one. There was something like that put up very, very briefly on one of the official DeSantis accounts. And then everybody's like, yeah, I remember seeing that picture. I remember Obama had it. Why are you doing this? Fuck you doing? Okay. So yeah, in conclusion, any clown pushing Trump lockdown America propaganda is a bad faith action you should probably ignore. That's another reason I'm so happy this is happening right now, because yeah, flushing out DeSantis and his ilk right now, all of those bad faith Johnny come lately attack dogs, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So what else do I got right here? Well, okay, your boy found one interview involving Ron DeSantis and everybody's favorite little guy with a littler hat, Ben Shapiro. Oh, they got a nice long 13-minute video. They got a 13-minute interview, and that's the reason why Ben's just bending over backwards for little Ron. That's right there. Oh, it's so cute. They could all get together. I said this. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Daily Wire is just Fox News with a better fucking internet connection. It's disgusting, the tactics that they're going to employ, and they're just reverting all the way back to, well, fuck, their founding, because the Daily Wire founding, if you remember, it was all because some lady got pushed by one of the security guards for the Trump campaign, mostly because she wouldn't get the fuck out of the way, and nobody wanted her trampled. And it wasn't so much of a push as stop trying to get your fucking hand in there and move out of the way. And then she tripped over her fucking hooker heels that she was wearing to that political event. Ben Shapiro got big butt hurt, mostly because Trump probably reminds him of one of the bullies that used to stuff him into lockers. And he's like, well, I just can't support him going forward. And then, yeah, as soon as he had a change of mind, realizing that, oh, everything's actually kind of better under Trump than there was under anything else, then he gave the kiss of political death, because you might appeal to those boomers that are out there on Facebook, but in the new world, a Daily Wire endorsement is frankly about worth all of its weight in wood. It's fucking trash shit. So, before we dive into this final 13 minutes, we're going to play it at regular speed, mostly so we can all just experience Ron DeSantis in all of his glory. Please, if you're operating heavy machinery, or if you've just recently taking a sleeping tablet to go to bed, because I understand out on the East Coast, it's approaching midnight, and shout out to you guys for turning out for this. I'm just warning you right now. Maybe the contrast between Ben Shapiro's rapid enunciation and Ron DeSantis's might counteract one another, but we'll see. I just want to run through the chats here. Shout out to you guys for turning out. I do appreciate it. Not going to be the longest stream that's out there, but we'll get back on track here very, very shortly and start doing more of these, because as you can tell, I haven't had much additional help on this one. It's just been me running off at the mouth, because I fucking remember all this stuff. Like, I've been doing this stuff since 2020. Nobody was watching. I was still doing this. I know my politics. I know it pretty fucking well. So shout out to you guys for turning out. And it's like a pretty good turnout over on YouTube as well. Like, I'm not really used to all that stuff as well, but yeah. So yeah, what's up? Yeah, shout out to you guys. That's what I like to see in the chat as well. Just a bunch of people going back and forth, Brian, Rookie, Meme, new ones that are coming through as well. Yeah, DeSantis is very much a political snake. DeSantis is a snick. Yes, a very snick. I made a tweet about this yesterday or some shit, whatever, recently, saying it's so nice. It's so nice that all of the DeSantis operatives are putting alligators in into their bios or profiles or some shit like that, because it's so easy to just spot the swamp creatures. You guys are making it too fucking easy. Like, are you that dumb? Are you that big of fucking boomers that are out there that if you think that you can just lie about people long enough that they'll eventually buy your shit? Nobody's trying to fuck you bitches. Nobody's trying to fuck Jenna Ellis. Nobody's trying to fuck that wide-eyed walleye Christina Pushaw. Nobody's going to buy your shit. We can easily go fucking fact check that stuff. As Trump guys, you've had to do that for the past 7-8 years at this point in time. It's not new hat. Just because you think that you found the second coming of fucking H.W. Bush doesn't mean that you found anything fucking new. It's just the same tactics now with a light Republican dusting. So fuck off. Yeah, short and sweet. Love your comment. Yeah, exactly. No, shout out and thanks for coming out, Loudress. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's either Lords or Loudress. And yeah, haven't seen you in here before, but thanks for turning out. And yeah, and for Rookie, Meme, Brian. I seen George in here earlier as well. Oh, he's still in here. Yeah. But yeah, no, everybody's fantastic as well. And yeah. And Manu. I seen you in here earlier, Manu. Hopefully you're still kicking around, man. No, I appreciate that. See what's going on over on the Rumble. And yeah, no, that pauses and that goes through as well. Shout out to you guys. Yeah. No, I do appreciate that. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead. Oh, and stomach some Ben Shapiro. The only thing good about this, like I said before, is that at least this little dumb fuck doesn't copyright his shit. So, I don't think we'll be taken down, but if we are, there's always Rumble. There's always going to be Rumble as well. So, let's just get that going. Get that in here as well. Make sure it's up. Lord, thank you. Okay, perfect. Because, okay, so I know a little bit of Spanish, and given your surname as well, that's the way that I think it is. So yeah, okay, so Lord. Lord it is. Now that I know. Stop screaming at me, for fuck's sake. I'm trying to be nice here.
Joining us on the show is Governor Ron DeSantis. He has freshly announced his 2024 presidential campaign.
He almost looks like a real boy with a little 5 o'clock scruff. Well, for him, it's probably a week and a half. 5 o'clock Friday scruff.
Governor DeSantis, thanks for joining the show. Really appreciate it.
Hey, congratulations on the new baby, Ben.
I really appreciate it. That's so sweet of you. And
oh my God, we're like totally friends now. Do you want to exchange best friend buttons? That'd be so cool, right? Do you like the little bracelets? Because I can make you one.
We say hello to Casey as well.
Do you want matching yarmulkes? Because that'll be really fun. It make you appeal to a certain group that's out there.
So why don't we talk about the first 24 hours of this campaign, how you think it's gone so far? Obviously, there were some technical snafus, what with Twitter Spaces, but there were tons of people
if he says break the internet, I'm going to die inside.
Watching. 700,000 people were trying to log on at the very beginning. These are big numbers.
That's not true. It's not exactly big numbers either. Again, 3.3 million people tuned in for Elon Musk on a random weekday night after talking to a random BBC reporter. It was funny, the exchange, but come on, that just goes to show you that Ron isn't quite the superstar that you'd want him to be, though. Oh, but you're good friends with him, right, Ben?
Numbers.
Yeah, and actually, talking to us on Twitter, there are actually very many more who couldn't even get to that part of the queue. And so it caused their system to basically melt down, and they've never seen anything like it. So I think there was a huge amount of interest. Part of the reason we did do it this way is because we figured with Elon involved that would reach a wider range of people.
Well, at least he realizes that he's about as popular as a colonoscopy with 6-inch hose. But yeah, you just couldn't draw numbers on either a traditional network or by doing it on your own. I guess that's one way to concede defeat.
Then would just do a traditional campaign rally. And so there was a lot of buzz generated for those who've been able to watch it. I think like across all the different ones that have it, I think it's over 9 million between the live stream and between David Sachs's one. So that's really, really significant. Obviously I made the announcement. I did a little bit of a riff to start, but then a lot of it was.
No, it was mostly just guys in the background going, "Are we live? Can we go live right now? Check that. Okay." And then after 20 minutes, then you guys killed the one stream, and then he went on, and it's like, "Yeah, I am announcing that I will be running because we need to start the great American comeback. Any questions? Okay, great. We will see you tonight with the up-and-coming Fox superstar, Trey Gowdy. It will be an exclusive first address, and I will be doing it on Fox News Network. Come and join us, guys. I'm Ron DeSantis."
It's just talking about the issues facing the country and being able to answer questions that people had. We need to do more of that in this country. We're not here to be entertainers. We're here to be leaders. And ultimately, a leader is measured by what kind of results you're ultimately able to deliver. We've delivered great results in Florida because we focused on what matters to the people of the state. And I think we'd bring that same know-how to Washington to focus on what matters to the people of the United States.
So Governor DeSantis.
Yo, what the fuck's this? The United States.
Obviously, Joe Biden has been doing a rather poor job. You're running to replace him. But standing in your way is a formidable rival. Former President Trump is the first Republican candidate to declare. So far, no,
he wasn't. Wasn't Nikki Haley the first one to declare? I'm just saying. You got to get your facts right there. Maybe the yarmulke's on just a little bit too tight. I thought your people are supposed to be good with numbers and figuring out who comes first.
But he's really laid a glove on him or drawn a strong contrast between themselves and President Trump. In sort of the national polling, he's up pretty significantly.
Still is the case.
So how do you see a difference between your candidacy, what you've been trying to do, your record, and President Trump?
Well, I think
I'm just going to lie. Blatant lies.
It's interesting because he's been attacking me by moving left. So this is a different guy.
What the fuck are you talking about? You've been attacking him right there on stage by saying, we're just going to focus on constituents from Florida. What do you think, Mar-a-Lago's in fucking Denver? Like, are you that dumb? But no, that's fine. He didn't have that written down. Nobody focus grouped that for him.
In 2015, 2016, he attacked me for opposing an amnesty bill in the Congress. He did support this amnesty, this good lot 2 million illegal aliens he wanted to amnesty. I opposed it because that's what America First principles dictate, that you're opposed to amnesty. He also attacked me for voting against an omnibus spending bill that was bloated, full of pork, and that racked up huge amount of debt for this country. Yes, I voted against the omnibus. He signed every omnibus that was put on his desk. And so I think it's odd that he's doubling down on those positions, because those were instances in which his actions did not match his campaign rhetoric. And I also think just the difference between 2015 and 16 and now is I, as chief executive of Florida, and he, as chief executive of the United States, we both faced COVID-19.
Oh, you're just going to lie about that. Okay, cool. So you start out, I opposed 2 bills. What were in those bills? There was an omnibus spending bill. What was in that, Ron? It was big. I didn't read it. Okay, cool. And then, yeah, your path to whatever the fuck. What was your voting record on the wall or anything like that? I would just like to know specifics, but that's all right. You've got two things that you did during your short stay in Congress before you went and homie hopped down to be the governor of Florida for a second, where you said that you weren't, I'm just focused on the better health and the well-being of Floridians, and that's what I'm here for, until Karl Rove and the Bushes start to come in my ear, and then all of a sudden I can get this nice NASCAR background where it looks like I've got all the sponsors in the world. Look at how good my endorsements, and look at how much money I can raise.
And we both responded in the way we did. He responded by elevating Anthony Fauci and really turning the reins over to Dr. Fauci, and I think to terrible consequences for the United States. I was the leader in this country in fighting back against Fauci.
Oh, I'm so glad we went over all that stuff, because that the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
We bucked him every step of the way, starting in April of 2020.
April 1st, 2020 is when you signed your executive order to lock down the state of Florida.
It's the schools, the businesses, the mandates, and our state has never done better as a result.
That's categorically a lie, but hey, he's a career politician. What do you expect?
Number one in migration, number one for growth, and we continue to see great things happen. So, but it required me to cut against the grain. It required me to know that every decision I made was going to be met with opposition from the media and from the left. But you do what's right, and you don't let them cow you. And so I think Fauci should have been fired.
Can't do that.
And I think the fact that Donald Trump gave Anthony Fauci a presidential commendation on Trump's last day in office, that was a gut punch to millions of people around this country who were.
You know, he got absolutely cucked on the way out the door. Yeah, nobody's defending Trump from January 7th until the 21st, 11:59 a.m. when he left office the final time. He was trying to save his own ass so that the Republicans wouldn't impeach him in the Senate. You do understand that, but no, we don't need to pay attention to the backroom politics that's right down there. Yeah, no, of course not. And if you believe some of the other backroom dealings, yeah, should have freed Assange and Snowden. Those pardons were on his desk, but Mitch McConnell, popped out of his shell. Oh, if you don't want us to vote against your impeachment, you can't sign those because we need those marketing chips. And they went back in his shell, and somebody carried him out to apply another coat of wax on top. But no, Ron would have done better. Sure, like his most recent pledge, because there was another interview, or I don't know, a little fucking one hit that he did as well. And Trump specifically during the CNN town hall said that
Yeah, I'm inclined. I'm very inclined, excuse me, to go down and I get a pardon. Maybe not all, but at least most of the January 6th people that are falsely imprisoned. Okay, maybe not the violent ones. I'd have to look at the cases specific, but excuse me, we'll take a look at that. We will deal with those when they come. Because you can't pardon somebody for crimes if they're only been detained. You can preemptively give them a blanket pardon, but for so many people that's out there, that would have been spun against them anyways. But okay, cool. But Ron, on the other hand, said, yeah, I'm inclined, sort of, to maybe take a look at them. But, he loves Fauci, gave him a medal. That was probably another one of those things. Okay, cool. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, and that's the guy who's the face of this shit. Okay, yeah, okay, he'll do a great job going forward. Unbeknownst that Fauci would come up and go, I'm so thankful that now I'm finally, the muzzle has finally been taken off of me. He's a tiny guy.
Were harmed by Fauci's lockdowns.
Governor DeSantis today, the president actually attacked you by suggesting that Andrew Cuomo had done a better job in New York, which is sort of a shocking.
That's hilarious. That is just being hyperbolic. But again, these fucking spurgs that are over here just go, no, that's just not true.
Thing coming from a president who's declared that he is the enemy of the left when it comes to COVID. Andrew Cuomo, of course, did not do a better job. He's been citing statistics suggesting using sort of absolute numbers of people who died per.
That's one way that you can do it. Isn't it so funny? Because you guys want to go ahead and shift the narrative, but when Trump says, yeah, look at how many people died. A lot of people died in Florida, folks. They don't want to tell you this. Okay? A lot of people died. Big states, not too many people did better than Florida. Okay? There's a lot of people that died. Even New York, Massachusetts, there's some states that are out there that fewer people died in some of those blue states. Okay, folks? Ron DeSantis, not... Or as I like to call him, Ron DeSanctimonious. He didn't do that good, folks. He'll tell you one thing, but the numbers tell you a different story. Where, yeah, you take a look at that one story, and yeah, people with COVID ended up dying at a fairly decent clip in Florida, which it's not quite telling the full story, but still true. Fact check says that is true. Missing context, though.
Per state, as opposed to looking at population adjusted, which, of course, seems deeply dishonest just on a...
Oh no, Ben Shapiro would be upset that Trump wasn't 100% just towing the line, that he was just trying to, paint something in the best light for him and not for, Ben Shapiro's better sensibilities. Oh, my stars and garters.
Statistical level, what's your take on those attacks?
They're very bizarre. I mean, first of all, Florida had less excess mortality than California or New York. Part of that is because states like California had excess mortality derived from the lockdown policies, which is really, really avoidable mortality. But if he thinks Cuomo handled it better, that's an indication if something like this were to happen again, he would double down and do what he did in March of 2020.
Which was what exactly? Say, yeah, we should just probably chill for a second and take a look at things. Meanwhile, you were, we need to start restricting and we need to start taking away liquor licenses from places. He did that as well, by the way.
It's a difficult situation. We didn't have all the facts and people can kind of understand, if you did things that may not have worked out. But we all have to sit here today in 2023, look back at March of 2020 and say Fauciism was wrong. Fauciism was destructive. Fauciism has set us on this path with the CARES Act and the Fed printing money, creating inflation, and creating some of the economic problems that we have today. So if you could do it again, would he do the same thing? I sure hope not, because those were...
Okay, cool. But again, can the president fire the head of the NIAID? The guy who, he's been in charge at that institution since... Who is... Oh, right, Reagan. Reagan was in charge. Oh, okay, cool.
For not the right decisions to make. And I've said very clearly, if I'm president, somebody like Fauci is in the government, I will bring them in and I will tell them two things. You are fired.
It's always bad for you,
You are fired. I would tell him two things. One sentence, 3 words. He's a smart man.
Tech grabbing your data. Here is the thing. All those big tech servicing agency data. So why not protect yourself the way that I do with a VPN, namely the best VPN on the market, ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN on literally all activities. Nope. Use my 3 months for ExpressVPN.
Did he have to do a fucking wardrobe change right in the middle of that ad read?
You're on IT yourself draw contrast. He's been suggesting that there are high crime rates in the state of Florida. Obviously.
in some places. Is it Tallahassee? I think it's like the only city in on the top 25 most violent cities that are out there in the nation. One in Florida.
He speaks as a sort of law and order candidate, but we were all present for 2020, and the National Guard was not.
Yeah, we were. We got to see Ben Shapiro's endorsement, get the vaccine dopes. Yeah, no, and nobody wants to address that over there on that side. No, but we didn't have the data. Oh, yeah, cool.
Deployed despite massive rioting in America's major cities. You, as governor of Florida, actually took some pretty strong positions on crime, up to and including providing stipends for incoming police officers. Maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Well, first of all, Florida's crime rate is at a 50-year low. That's just a fact. And it hit a 50-year low during my administration, but a lot of that is because local people, local government, local law enforcement done a good job. But it's hit a 50-year low while crime has been spiking in other places around the country. So we're counter trend for what's been happening
So shout out those mayors and local law enforcement agencies
in the United States. One of the main reasons families have moved to Florida since I've been governor is because of public safety, because they know we're a law and order state. So that's
except for during spring break, if you're around a Target, Walmart, anything like that. But no. Shitting on Florida. Okay, I like Florida. Florida would definitely be one of my top locations, destinations when I eventually make my escape from the socialist hellhole. But at the same time, okay, that comes down to the mayors that also kept those places. The one in Tampa, the big hypocrite that was in Tampa, that bitch that's up there, she had the mask mandate and then she extended it, and then she was caught at a Tampa Bay Lightning game up in there in the luxury box, not wearing a mask at all. Funny. But yeah, these are localized problems, or localized people, and he's taking credit, but then he also wants to discount whenever there's lawlessness that's down there, and especially the homelessness that's popping up. I know I'm picking on Tampa, but that area, you can see pictures of hammocks and tent cities as well, so got to take the good with the bad, my guy. You're doing good. You're a good governor, but you probably shouldn't be lying this much.
It's delusional to say that somehow Florida, has bad crime, and you can see that in the migration patterns. People are leaving high crime areas, and they're
high tax areas. No state income tax in Florida. That's not a big reason.
Coming here. When the Floyd riots were going on in Minneapolis, I called out the National Guard in Florida immediately. I had state law enforcement deployed. We work with our local partners. We said very clearly, you're not burning cities down here. We'll put a stop to it if it happens. And sure enough, it didn't end up happening. We've also enacted.
Yeah, fantastic. That's good, because the governors have jurisdiction over that. The president can simply make the federal and National Guard available, and if places like Minneapolis, Trump any day now, he's going to take the bait and he's going to go clean up the Chaz or the Chop. Didn't do that now, did he? Because he doesn't have authority to just go in. He can go defend federal buildings like he did with the federal courthouse that was in Portland, right? Yeah, he can go defend that area with his Gestapo that's out there, but he can't infringe on states' rights. But DeSantis just thinks that the constituents that are out there just aren't fucking sophisticated or smart enough to read the Constitution.
Legislation to crack down on rioters with tougher penalties and to prevent local governments from defunding the police. But I think one of the things that we've seen is, under the Trump administration, he enacted a bill, basically a jailbreak bill. It's called the First Step Act. It has allowed dangerous people out of prison who have now reoffended and really, really hurt a number of people. So one of the things I would want to do as president is...
I've seen something about that. I might have to do some research in the background on that. Might be able to... we can circle back on that here at the end.
Go to Congress and seek the repeal of the First Step Act. If you are in jail, you should serve your time. And the idea that they're releasing people who have not been rehabilitated early so that they can prey on people in our society is a huge, huge mistake.
So Governor DeSantis, one of the big questions that comes up in the presidential election, happened in 2020, I'm sure it'll happen again in 2024, is Donald Trump claims that the 2020 election was rigged. And this raises a question. Even if you believe that that's true, how do you plan to reverse that sort of thing? If you're worried that the voting rules have changed, how do you plan to actually win, given the fact that 2020 didn't go the way that Donald Trump wanted it to go? Well...
Oh, yeah, okay, so whatever, they're just babbling over one another, but I got a Hotep Jesus tweet that's up here, which actually I might as well just pull it up that way. Because that totally makes sense. I can go ahead and do my mouse. Come on, you gotta wake up. We gotta wake up, buddy. We can just go right here. Oh. It's not like I really don't care. It's going to be right up here at the top anyways. So yeah, Hotep Jesus. DeSantis says he does not want the black vote. Trump by a landslide. This is about the First Step Act, of course. Y'all went from 1350 to white people are being attacked by black people to not all black people are criminals. Yeah, no, pretty much one way to put that. But yeah, no, that lie detector test determined that was true. That was true.
You obviously, in the state of Florida, took a very different tack, and you can see the results. You can see a 20-point shift between 2018 and 2020. Can you talk about your sort of on-the-ground strategy and how that would be different from what President Trump did in 2020 running against the Democrats?
The left is going to throw the kitchen sink at any Republican. You've got to be ready for that. So in 2020, we saw these states, largely because of the Fauci state of emergency for COVID, they used that as a pretext to change the rules, the way voting happened. They embraced this mail balloting and ballot harvesting. Of course, I think that that's wrong. But if I were the candidate, I would have gone in and combated that. Either had our people doing the same ballot harvesting.
Yo, is he Monday morning quarterbacking? Oh, yeah, I would have done something about ballot harvesting. Really? What would you have done? What would you... The rules were already put in place circa 2000 in Florida, okay? Like, they fixed it. Well, actually, that would have been 2001. They would have fixed all the shit that's down there because that was the big problem back then during that time when one of his biggest supporters, Jeb Bush, was in control of Florida at the time with the hanging chads and all that stuff. And that's an interesting election to look back on in retrospect, and that's something that we'd have to discuss over on Rumble because, Al Gore wanted certain recounts of certain states, but not ones from other states. It's very interesting. Gore still wouldn't have won anyways, even if everything went down in Florida and they wouldn't have settled, but it's a very interesting just look back into what happened in Florida. And Florida's been on the up and up ever since, but him trying to take credit, in retrospect, I would have done things that were different. And now Trump's saying we're just going to become the best ballot harvesters possible, which is the only way to move forward because there's no taking any of that shit back. The genie's already out the bottle, and him trying to think that, oh no, I can just make things better because I was the guy who was in control of Florida and I can do the exact same policies up there at the federal government. No, bitch, you fucking can't. You can't do that.
Or been more aggressive to try to head that off in terms of some of the legal challenges. I also look at how the federal government colluded with some of the tech companies to censor information, like the Hunter Biden story. That's election interference. It's totally unfair. But I would also point out that was Donald Trump's FBI and Donald Trump's DHS.
See, he also doesn't understand that all of those people have been there for fucking ever, and you can't fire everybody, you fucking retard. Christ almighty.
Was doing that. He didn't have control over his own agencies. If somebody in my government...
Yeah, fantastic. If somebody in my government, I would just put people in charge. You can't. You fucking can't. That's why this whole drain the swamp thing that, if I would do it, I'm going to just remove everybody. You're so stupid. Or maybe, he'll just remove everybody and then he'll replace it with the likes of the Bushes and the Roves and, oh yes, all of your people that are down there, right? Because Ron has all the solutions.
Government were doing that, they would have been fired the next day. And so you've got to take the responsibility as the candidate to shape the battlefield in a way that's going to be most advantageous to your side winning. So
cool. Are you going to defund the FBI? Are you going to do it? Trump said he would.
What I'll do, obviously in Florida, we did it very effectively. But now...
Like what? In Florida, we did it effectively. Did what? Did what with the FBI in Florida? What are you talking about?
Nationally, you look to see what the rules of the game are. Yeah.
Something that you haven't done. Now you're just you're lying.
Yes. We banned ballot harvesting in Florida. That's what you should do. Yes, we banned Zuckerbucks in Florida.
You can't do that. The states have agency over how they conduct elections.
That's what you should do. However, not every state has done that. So if you're in a state like Nevada, that's a mass mail balloting state with ballot harvesting and Zuckerbucks, we will have organizations in place so that we can exploit that system. If you have it in Wisconsin, we will have organizations.
Oh, so now he's just stealing directly from Trump's line. Oh, you should do something about it, but then we're just going to exploit the systems that are in place.
in place to exploit that system. I think telling people not to send in a mail ballot is a huge mistake, and it ends up reducing the pool.
Yeah, but that's what you were doing at the time, because you fixed that in Florida. Don't send in mail ballots, but then now you're just Monday morning quarterbacking this. You're a fucking liar, dude. Disingenuous as fuck.
Of prospective voters. In Florida, we focused on some of these low propensity voters in my reelection. They usually vote in presidential. They don't always vote in midterm. And we converted a lot of them to vote. Most of them chose to vote by absentee ballot through the mail. That was their choice. If we told them you could only vote on election day, some of them very well
God, he has an annoying voice. I hate the upspeak. Is this a new thing? Must be.
may not have voted. So understand the battlefield. It's your responsibility as a candidate to head off that.
Love
but
is a battlefield.
every single candidate that we would nominate is going to face this from the left, the Democrats, and the media. And what I've told people, if you nominate me, I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to get it done, and we'll be sworn in as president on January 20th, 2025.
So, Governor DeSantis, final question for you here, because I know you have to run. Now,
anything on Ukraine about calling Putin a war criminal, but then not being able to cite anything? But to be fair, you've made a lot of other allegations that you're not going to cite anything for. So, I don't know, just continue. It's like, well, what do you think about this shirt and suit combo?
President Trump has
Or what do you think about my fake microphone and my lapel microphone? Isn't it a bit pretentious?
Threatened to not participate in any primary debates, assuming that he will sort of be appointed by acclamation. What do you make of his threats not to engage in some sort of primary debate with any of the other candidates?
Oh, he'll sit out the first. Like, this is classic Trump. He'll just go ahead and he'll let, just the dogs fight over top of him. I'm waiting. You can mark me down for this. I will 100% guarantee this. Vivek Ramaswamy is going to be the best-looking candidate coming out of those first rounds of primary debates. See how many goes. But Trump's going to wade into one of those and then just clean up the fucking wreckage in the aftermath. DeSantis is going to fall like a stone. Okay, he doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the track record. And him bringing up some weird, easily fact-checkable shit, he's going to get roasted. It's not going to look too dissimilar to what Tulsi Gabbard did to Kamala Harris. Hopefully Ron develops a personality before August, but it could be brutal.
Candidates.
Well, look, I mean, I'm a blue-collar kid. I started working for minimum wage. And I learned very early on, I'm not entitled to anything. You got to earn it in this world. And I think this nomination is something people have to earn. Nobody's entitled to be nominated. And so I intend to earn it. I think those debates are an important part of the process. So Republicans across the country can size up candidates and see what they think. I look forward to participating in them because I think we've got a great story to tell. And I think that the contrast between me and some of the other candidates, I think will be favorable. And I think it'll help us win the nomination.
Well, that is Governor Ron DeSantis. He's got a big day and a big several weeks at the minimum lined up for him. Governor DeSantis, if you want to give to his campaign, head on over to rondesantis.com.
Is this an ad? Are we sure it's not an ad or anything like that? Mostly because I don't think Benny Boy doesn't do anything. Daily Wire, politics. No, you can just go ahead and you can donate over here. That'd be fantastic. Oh no, you can just buy all of his fucking merch and shit like that. Fuck you. Yeah, you can just go support him over there. It's funny because I seen something else. Maybe I can pull that up real fucking quick. Okay, go back to the bookmarks. You see something I'm going to be talking about later. But yeah, as you can tell, one of these offshoot DeSantis Make America Florida gimmicks, which just completely yanking all of the Trump iconography. What do you notice in those beer koozies? Which beers are those? Which ones? Yeah, no, exactly. All seems to make sense. Make America Florida shop. I know, and a lot of people have pointed out it's not an official DeSantis campaign, but you can go ahead and keep your Bud Light warm. Just saying. Shit's funny as fuck. But yeah, man, I think that's about it. I think that's about it when it comes specifically to what DeSantis has been up to recently. Because, his announcement wasn't anything special at all. In fact, it was kind of embarrassing. And so's Ben Shapiro. But they're just going to be fucking nauseating going forward. So, yeah. Not a good launch so far. Just a bunch of insufferable fucks that he's got surrounding himself with, from Christina Pushaw to Jenna Ellis's fat ass trying to make a bike meme, and it's like, bitch, you haven't been at fucking exercising in a decade, so just stop it with all that shit. But this, it screams of the establishment wanting to come back in. It's very analogous, if you understand, and that might be something that we need to do in the future as well. If you remember the history of the Tea Party from midway through the Obama's first term, and the way that it got stamped out when it was the original proto-MAGA campaign, where they were trying to bring in populism and an actual voice for the conservative side. Well, now everything's what's old is new again, and now you have, yes, just a return to normalcy. He's Trump without all the baggage, but he's also Trump without any of the charisma. Ugh. So let me just peruse the chat, see what you guys are talking about, and I think, hey, there we go. Okay, so, what the fuck? Okay, so what do we got over here? I didn't see anything. The fucking app wasn't working, so if you guys were just, oh my god, what the fuck? Okay, so I got the Rumble one pulled up, and, shit's fucking wild. Yeah, you guys have been talking in the fucking, Rumble chat, but I haven't been able to see anything on my fucking app. Shit's retarded, but yeah, no. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all that stuff as well. Hope so, Brian. Michael Gabriel Music. Haven't seen you around here before, man. Thanks for coming through. They will oof the... Okay, yeah, you bring up an important... I think I can talk about that. I think they will rig the primary like the establishment did. Yeah, it's interesting. That's also, if you guys weren't around right at the beginning of the stream where I posited the idea that Ron DeSantis came into this election mostly because he was getting some bad information that Trump was going to get indicted and ergo disqualified from running for president. So yeah, hop in right now, get your feet wet, and get ready to run again. I think that was bad advice and ultimately not really going to pan out for him. But rig in that sense, but just outright steal the nomination at the primary level. The way the Republicans run nomination process, there's no super delegates or anything like that. It's just simply going from state to state. And if there's anything fucked up when it comes to that, but I think that would just be way too much of a turnoff for anybody that's out there, because, okay, even with the DeSantis and nominees that are out there, or I'm sorry, the DeSantis supporters that are out there, they're more realizing that, we kind of got to make the best of this bad situation right now. Yeah, he's our guy, but we'll come over on the other side. All of the tactics that the DeSantis guys are using right now are just more or less turning people off of DeSantis more than it's just trying to make for a nice, fine, friendly, competitive situation. That's not what's happening here at all. So let's just run through the rest of this. Yeah, make sure that he wins the primary. Exactly, man. And I'm just interested to see, like, if DeSantis starts to hold in-person rallies. I just want to see the turnout when it comes to this, because everybody's pointing to, see, Trump's not popular at Iowa. There's a fucking tornado the last time they were supposed to be down there with a rally. Trump rallies. They continue to pull thousands and thousands of people. Ron DeSantis can't even sell out a fucking friendly, so just stop it. Okay, yeah. Archive. So yeah, you guys are just going back and forth over there. I can do two voices. I can do two. That's amazing. Shout out to you, Skaven from... I can't pronounce that. Sorry, I'd try, but yeah. And TFN Network. TFN Network. Okay, no, that's not the one I was thinking of. Yeah, Ron DeSantis flew to Israel to sign the bill. Yeah, and touch the wall, and we know about them boys that are over there. So yeah, we may ultimately Trump supporters might lose, but we know who's going to win at the end of the day. Wish I had the money machine to go burr on that one, but anyways, let's see what's going over here on YouTube right now. Yeah, DeSantis and his tranny fluid. We know he loves that. Hey, Dark, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. And yeah. If that send me a ballot, send me all the ballots, of course. Hell, it'd be really weird if I got one, though. Anyways, FBI agents he was complaining about was hired by the Bushes. Yeah, of course. The ones that the Bushes hired, they're now all in those C-suites that are out there. It's funny about the FBI, the Muellers and all that stuff as well. They're very interesting as well. Yeah, doing great holiday weekend. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, you guys got the big holiday weekend, so yeah, I'll probably wrap up right here, but I'm thinking I'll leave this open to both sides. because I'm thinking tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll probably do a stream. Thinking about it. Thinking pretty heavily about it as well. There's that fucking TikToker kid from the UK who went on Piers Morgan after he got arrested, turned himself in, and then ended up, getting like a $200 fine. It's like, you better not do that again. And then just recently I seen he got arrested, but now he's out on the street again. I want to cover that story. I'm either going to do a video on it, but if we can just watch the Piers Morgan interview, we might do that for the Rumble stream tomorrow. Or I might push that one off to Tuesday if we can find anything else there. Mizzy. Yeah, that's his name. That's right there. That little fuck. Yeah, yeah. Thinking about doing something like that, so yeah. Oh. Good. Yeah, so we might do that tomorrow for the Rumble stream. Thinking about that. Thinking about doing that. Otherwise, yeah, if you guys over here on YouTube want to see that, might do that on Tuesday. We might just do a total shit show video for tomorrow. Just do a real grab bag of some funny shit because, hey man, if most of the people, because I know like my audience is overwhelmingly American, that makes total sense, and this is my full-time fucking job. I just dedicate my shit to this stuff anyway, so really doesn't much matter what I end up doing tomorrow or on Monday anyway, so we can just go ahead and run that. Yeah, that kid should be in jail just on principle alone. Yeah, fuck that guy. Oh my god, and because I've seen clips on that one, so we might run that back. We're definitely going to run that back. It's either going to be exclusively on Rumble, because I'm not going to call them what everybody else is right now. I just got some interesting verbiage that we could use as well, but I don't think Piers Morgan copyrights his interviews as well. So yeah. Yeah, that one could be interesting. But yeah, no, we're definitely going to do that in the future. Or it just could be a grab bag one for tomorrow. Not entirely sure, but yeah, either tomorrow, exclusively on Rumble, or on Tuesday. But God, the news is moving so quickly, and plus, I want to do something with my own election that I voted in earlier here today for Alberta, because the NDP should lose, but the Conservative Party, the way that the polls are trending is, it looks like our equivalent of it, very much so. The Conservative Party's probably going to coast to a victory, but I just want to make sure on that one. So yeah, that kid should be in jail. Yeah. And yeah, the FBI as well. But we are just simply petering out at this point in time. So, no, I appreciate you guys. Things people are willing to do for clicks and fame these days. It's so fucking despicable. You know meme. You know 1000%. See all those fucking clout chasing whores on Fresh and Fit and on whatever podcast as well. But yeah, I'm thinking probably do the Mizzy one tomorrow on Rumble. Tune in for that one. So yeah, if you guys are... Brian, I liked and shared. So yeah, no, thanks our Lord and Savior. That's what we're gonna call you now. All right, our Lord and Savior in the chat. Okay. So yeah, no, tune in on Rumble. Tune in on Rumble tomorrow. Try to make it for the regular scheduled time, and if not, it'll be at the time that I want to go. So, whatever. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning out. I do appreciate it. Seen some names in here that I haven't seen before, and then seen some oldies but goodies. But yeah, no, definitely come through on that one. I appreciate it. So, without further ado, enjoy the middle day. No, tomorrow's the middle day of the long weekend. Enjoy your evening. That one's for sure. So yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it very, very much. So, without further ado, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I'm Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everybody.